What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for being here and checking out the Futuristic interview. We had a few mic issues on Futuristic's end. There was some wind, but we got it sorted out, and we hope you guys...
That was a wind sound effect.
We hope you guys like this interview.
Yeah, hang with, though. It gets good.
Enjoy.
What is up, everybody? You are tuning into the Not Nobody podcast. With me, as always, is Cheeks and Esco.
What up, baby?
Today we have a special guest, Mr. I Had to Do It. Probably holds the world record for most fans dunked on. He's still on the rise, Futuristic.
Whoa, y'all know y'all shit.
We're here. I'm telling you, we're here for you, my man. We're ready to have you in the studio. So
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so obviously quarantine, Corona has really screwed everything up. You, though, seem like nothing has been affected. Like, you've released 9 music videos, a project. Tell us about how coronavirus has slowed you down, if at all.
Yeah, it definitely slowed me down. Like, it just made me kind of morph what I was doing with my music. Like, for example, the video with Devon. I mean, we probably would have done it together.
Right.
You know, the video with Rich, we would have definitely done that together. I actually had a flight booked to go to Atlanta already. And then, you know, so it kind of just made me be creative at the crib and, you know, with what I had around me. And then for my record label, it definitely affected me because we were flying artists out every week and, you know, doing a whole, you know, week with that artist or, you know, 3 days or 5 days with that artist. And, you know, that all had to stop.
Right.
When this Corona stuff started. So it's definitely affected me and my businesses. But as far as me making music and me releasing music, it definitely has not affected that.
yeah, what'd you
I don't know if you guys are aware either that on the Spotify and everything like that, all streams are actually down because nobody's listening to music in their car.
Oh, right.
Nobody's listening to music in their business anymore. So while most people thought that it would all go up, it actually went down for most people. So it's good to see that my streams are at an all-time high. So it's good to see that, you know, because it's not going like that for everybody.
Your top 5. Tell them we're looking all from the albums. Congratulations. You got a single from every single album up there.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yes, sir.
How did you
sir.
you shot all 9 music videos for your album? Did you shoot that before Corona kind of hit, or did you already have that planned up?
I don't want to say I'm a last minute guy, but I'm kind of I have so much stuff going on that it's like, and I not that I lose excitement for things, but I want to drop things when I'm excited about them. So usually I just get right to it and I'll shoot a video on Wednesday and I'll put it out on Sunday or Friday, you know? So everything pretty much was shot and released all like it's shot, then it gets released within the next 5 to 10 days.
Yeah, you said that you have trying to get creative at the crib and stuff. You probably have the number one crib to do that in. I mean, you have turned that thing inside out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a dope spot to create. Luckily for me, I have 2 houses next to each other.
Yep.
So my second house is like completely the creative workspace where there's a green screen, a white screen, black screen. The merchandise room is there. The studio is there. The podcast room is there. All the walls are different colors.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're able to do a ton of things right there. Yeah.
And you normally, since you have those 2 houses, do you normally you're creating a lot of content all the time? Do you normally house your creators, your fellow collaborators in that house? They stay with you, stay close by.
Yeah, so what I did when I got the second house was I knew a lot of people would be coming in and out. So every single couch that's in that house pulls out to a bed.
That's cool.
So we know
Yes,
we know that you're a Phoenix Suns fan, but I see you're wearing a Pistons jersey right now. What you got on?
Yes, sir. I got the Grant Hill jersey. This was actually not this actual jersey, but when I was a kid, the Grant Hill jersey was the first jersey I ever got. It was like a Kmart ripoff. It had a little Kmart sticker.
Right.
And that was the first jersey I ever had. I got a video shoot today for a feature that I did called 91. So
Oh,
it's
cool.
about, you know, just being born in the 90s. So I'm definitely colorful in 90s out today.
For sure. Yeah. I was gonna say but your main team is the Phoenix Suns, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of grew up a Lakers fan.
Okay.
I always grew up, I was a Kobe fan. He was always my favorite player. So I grew up kind of a Lakers fan. That's what really got me into hoop was probably like the 2000 playoffs was when I really, really, really fell in love with it. I was already playing before that, but that's when I really, really started watching basketball heavy. So I grew up a Lakers fan, and when I moved to Phoenix, luckily they played the Lakers a lot, so I would always go to those games, you know, Amari and Nash versus Kobe. So I went to those games a lot, and then, you know, just living here for a while, got me to really be into the Suns, and then got me starting to work with them.
Yeah. How do you like working with the Suns? What's that look like for you?
It's interesting. Anytime you work with a big corporation, there's a lot of, red tape you got to go through. So working with them, they don't do things necessarily the way that I would. So there's a lot of restrictions that like I wasn't really able to do all the things that I wanted to do to kind of, boost my value with them. But as far as just like all the connections that I made through it, and selling our clothes in the store and sitting courtside at the games and having season tickets and all that, like, I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Rap and basketball always go hand in hand, so it's definitely dope to do that. Yeah, making a theme song, all of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry for the Pacers smacking you guys around all the time.
Yeah, these guys are huge Pacers fans. So you had the Pistons and the Suns coming at them. You better watch out.
Yeah. Thanks for TJ Warren, my man.
Whoa.
He took a heavy
Yo,
bet
wow.
that.
I don't think either team. Pacers don't have a championship either, do they?
It
not
hurts.
yet.
It hurts.
Well, that's because you're Lakers
Yeah.
in 2000. I mean, we were trying. We were close.
Yeah, and the Bulls. Y'all hit the Bulls. Y'all great years. You hit the Bulls and then the Lakers.
Yeah.
For sure. You watched The Last Dance?
I did watch The Last Dance.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. The last 2 episodes. I mean, for me being a big Pacers fan, and I'm actually a videographer, so I shoot for the Pacers. So yeah,
Right.
it was.
Oh, that's fire. Super fire.
Yeah, so it was cool to see that. See the Pacers in there.
So we gotta start getting into the your album, but more importantly, that documentary was amazing.
Yeah,
man.
it was fire.
That was a great way to put out your story and kind of show the world where you're headed next. So we really appreciate it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we wanted. I mean, because it is really like people hear the music, but they don't really see the behind the scenes all the time.
Right.
They don't really know what goes into it, especially an independent artist who does. A lot of us do a lot of things ourselves. So it's like not knowing and not seeing that. I think once you watch the documentary, you have a whole new appreciation for all the work that goes into everything that we put out.
Right. I thought it did a really good job at kind of showing your journey. Obviously, knowing you and your music for a long time, I think it did a really good job at kind of showing how you started and what it's taken to get to this point.
Yeah,
That-
long way from the Mr. I Had to Do It days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
for real.
That one budget shot, the shot with you, Jakob Owens, and all the boys, DY, Kyle, Sam King, all those, that brought this nostalgic back. That was awesome. How'd you guys end up getting together? You guys had such a tight crew back in the day. I don't know if you guys are still together, what you guys are doing, but how did that group originally form?
So it kind of started with, me and my videographer, Jakob Owens, went to high school together. And then just from Jake doing a lot of videos for me, I started getting them placed on blogs. And I started, reaching out to people and getting videos for Jake. And then obviously Jake's name on its own, people were reaching out to him. And so like when we found a good artist that we really liked, it was like, okay, I'm going to start working with that artist. And then it's like, well, let's tie it all together. And then we had the idea. I couldn't tell you who originally came up with the idea, if it was me or Jake, but we had the idea to do one song where like we took our best videos and kind of put them together.
Yeah, that no budget.
And then
track.
No Budget. Yeah, the No Budget song. And then we were working on booking a tour for that whole thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
But we didn't know what we were doing yet. And we were trying to actually make it a whole group. But, things got in the way because it was like around the time Odd Future was around. So we're like, man, if Odd Future's popping and we could be, something like that. But, everybody did their own thing and everybody's still doing well in their own lane. So,
Take Growing Up. That was a group though. I loved watching you all guys kind of collaborate together. That was a fun squad.
Sure.
I have to ask real quick. Do you remember Michael Berkey, by the way? Do you remember my man over here on the mic? Do you remember this photo?
I can't see anybody right now. I don't know why, but I can't see y'all.
Shoot!
okay,
Here,
okay.
swipe.
Let me,
Maybe swipe on the.
And we'll send it to you too.
Right,
You need to see this. You need to see this.
Whoa, there it is.
Okay. So let me show you this photo. Do you remember how did you get this close to this guy?
Dude, he can't.
I remember that. My dad's in the background, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when
That was
you were.
outside of an Indianapolis show.
Yeah, for when
It
you
was
were
the
on
day
tour
after
with
I
Huey
stuck my
Mack.
face on the backboard dunking. there's a no crowd surfing sign at that show, and I remember I ripped it off the wall and then jumped in the crowd.
Yeah, you're saying fuck that. That was that rule.
That was when. So I don't know if you remember, but that was when my set got cut short, and I walked over to you, and you were like, "Why are you out here so early?" And I was like, "It got cut short," and you were like, the last show I did where I got cut short, I chucked a water bottle at the sound engineer."
Sounds like me. No, definitely. Damn.
Yeah,
that's the fucking worst. Yeah, you got to throw that water bottle next time, fam.
Yeah.
Let them know you mean business.
I'm just glad you made it out and Berkey's down here with us. So I just appreciate that you got it out and this guy came here. So good looks on you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so kind of switching subjects, talking about how we're all grown up and everything. You just got engaged. Congratulations.
Whoa. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's a big move right there.
Yeah, I got to ask.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, it really is. I remember seeing the footage of when you were on that cruise ship and when you fell. What I was going to ask, what was going to go through your mind if she didn't come to help you? If she's just like over there on this side.
Her too well.
Yeah, you knew she was going to come?
I knew her too well. Yeah, I knew she'd be there.
Yeah, you're just over there just standing over to the side and she's over there worried about you. That bum ankle, that ankle is... Yeah, that ankle's been hit a couple times, so she had to rush over there.
Yeah, no, I've definitely ruined the ankle. It's donezo. So the crazy thing, so we went on a cruise before that, and I sprained my ankle on the cruise. Oh. So I was like, and she ran over that time. So I'm like, if I do it, and I kind of planted the seeds. I'm like, man, I hope that never happens to me again. Just, leading up to it. So like the thought was there.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, it was just like, damn it, here it goes again, breaking his damn ankle.
Yeah,
yeah. She was there. She was there super quick.
You got to keep that ring on you at all times. You got to keep that ring on at all times, just in case that ankle gave at any moment. You were just like, you know what? If it goes, I got to be prepared. I got to be ready to get on that knee.
Yeah. No, we only played for so we got all these kids to play, and nobody knew besides the one kid that was guarding me.
Oh, really?
So I tell him I'm like, let me get by you. I'm gonna propose to my girl, and he's like, what? I'm like, let me get by you. And so I get by him. And it's because the ankle was in my sock and it was cutting up my leg. I'm like, I got to hurry up and do this because this is cutting my skin and it might be messing up the ring. So, yeah, it was like third play down the court. And I just came down and, yeah.
Took one for her.
So
So
how have the plans been for you guys now? Like, since Corona and stuff, has it affected anything, or is it still, you think you're still good?
Yeah, it definitely affected it because we did a really quick one. We were going to get married in April.
Oh, wow.
So it completely got shut down. And I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. I think they just reopened a lot of the stuff in Arizona, but they're talking about some of it might close. There's going to be maybe new rules. So I don't want to have to plan the wedding 3 times.
Right.
So I'm just going to let it ride out and then just do a quick one, I mean, it's going to be a dope wedding, but it's probably not going to be everything that we imagined originally.
Yeah,
she's ready to just do it. She's ready to just do it, and get started on the next thing. But yeah.
So she's the focus there. So she's like, get it over, and you're like, hey, let's do it right and everything. That's a switch up right there. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it one time, and I'm gonna do it the right way, and it's gonna be. We're gonna have the memories. We're gonna have the the photos.
That's
and we're
how I
do
do
it right.
Yeah.
She's like, let's just do it now. And I'm like, nah, trust me, you're gonna want to do it the right way.
For sure. So that leads into, so are you looking for like a big extravagant wedding, or are you trying to just keep it close friends and family, or what?
No, it won't be super extravagant. It'll be nice and it'll be cool, but it won't be extravagant. Yeah. Neither one of us are super extravagant people.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, so with that comes family. You guys planning to have kids soon and stuff? I saw in the documentary you were talking about that towards the end.
For sure, man. My biggest goal in life is always just to be a good dad.
Yeah, you came from a big family too, so.
I come from a big family, and there was all sorts of dysfunction. So I've always been like, man, I don't want to have multiple baby mamas, and I want to have a good family, and I want to be a great dad, and I want to be financially stable enough to support them, and I want to have the time to support them. And, be there for them and coach their basketball and football and baseball, soccer teams, and do all that good stuff. So, yeah, I'll definitely be switching gears soon.
You can kind of tell from the kind of the music that you've been putting out recently too. There's a lot of self-reflection what you've been doing. Obviously still on the Rise album. It's a very different project and direction than your I Am and the Zachary Lewis. what's kind of, did you create the beats? Did you continue on with the music creation? Did you fall in love with that, or did you hop back on to keep on doing what you did for Steel on the Rise or On the Rise?
So last year when I did I Am and Zachary Lewis, it was like a passion year for me, kind of. Well, a lot of crazy shit happened. Like my manager stole mad money from me. I fired him. My merch guy stole from me. I fired him.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I kind of started back at square one. Well, that was like 2018. In 2018 was my manager. Then in 2019 was my merch guy. And then, so I was just like, I don't really care about the business right now. I just want to make what I want to make. So I found this producer probably in 2016 named Boylord. Yep. We only did one song together, and then he was like begging me to come out and work with me. So he came out and worked with me, and we made everything from scratch. Like, I don't know if you guys seen, but like literally we just took stuff from around the house.
Yeah, that concept was awesome.
It was super fun, and I fell in love with it. So I'm like, man, let's make a whole album like this. But while we were making it, I realized like some of the stuff kind of fit in one side and some kind of fit on this other side. And it was like, it was two sides of me. So that's when I came up with the idea of the I Am Zachary Lewis. And then Zachary Lewis, I didn't really promote too hard, but I wanted to put the name out there. I started my motivation page, Zachary Lewis, but I wanted to put the name out there. So in the future, when I decide to do something very different creatively, I can put it out as Zachary Lewis.
I love that.
And people won't be like, man, Futuristic fell off, or why is Futuristic singing, or why is Futuristic doing a country album or a rock album or whatever it might be.
Right.
It can be a whole different artist. So last year was kind of a setup for that.
That's cool.
And just the passion year, I didn't take it like too serious business wise. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Good.
And put it out and see what happens. So.
Yeah, good. I think
and
we were.
This year is back.
Yeah. I think we were listening to what you did before. There was like a little like break gap, and then of course you're going back with this album, but you can still hear like it's good. You kind of took a break, and then you got back into heavy content creation, heavy marketing yourself. You found your flow again, and you really took the time to make that sound back. But also, it's evolved, man. There's no denying it. It's evolved. It's a completely like next step up than what you put out prior, and it's fantastic. So I just got to commend you for that, my man.
Yeah, I think that it was tapping back into that original energy and that hunger. And I actually had that hunger again because everybody was sleeping on me last year. So I feel like I tapped back into that, but I also picked up some new skills from making all that other music, that it was like morphing those two things into one and evolving, but still giving you the feel. Like even when I was creating Still on the Rise and when I was doing the track list, I literally was like, okay, The Rise has 2 songs about girls. So we're going to put 2 songs about girls on Still on the Rise. Cool. It has 6 bangers. We're going to put 6 bangers. It has 3 deep songs. We're going to do 3 deep songs. So like when you listen to it, you kind of go through that same progression, even though it's different.
So, like what you were talking about, where you're like, I want to be able to, make shit that I want to make, like whether it's country or rock or, whatever, and not be like, oh, Futuristic switched up. So that makes me want to ask, is there like a song that you've created that is just like stowed away, that only for yourself, where you're like, wow, this is like
one in the vault?
This is crazy. Like this is crazy. Like this is so different than anything I've ever done, and you just have it.
I definitely have some unreleased music that's way different, but I also, even those 2 projects, like if you listen to them, like on I Am, there's a song called Show Me Something Else. It's like one of my favorite songs ever, and it's way different than anything I've ever done. Even songs about girls, that project is like, I didn't really market that one too much, and that one has like, I'm singing on every song the whole time. And Zachary Lewis is like reggae.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of different shit on there. So there's nothing that's like so crazy that I don't think anyone will understand, but it's definitely outside the realm of what Futuristic fans love.
Mm-hmm,
so
right.
Like for me, I kind of compared it like I'm even guilty of it. Like when Childish Gambino put out, his album that had Redbone on it, I listened to it and I was very critical, like, what the fuck is this?
That first take.
And, yeah, and if that would have came out as Donald Glover, I would have expected it to be different. And I would have been like, okay, he's doing what he wants to do. And then MGK kind of went through a little patch, and even at his concerts, like I was at his concert probably like 6-7 months ago, and I hear people in the crowd like, he needs to get back to rapping and da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if he would have, not that he should, because he made the whole switch.
Yeah.
But if he wanted to continue to do both, and he started putting stuff out as Coulson, which he even branded himself that way. He did his Instagram as Colson, and he starts talking about him being Colson. It's a transition, you know? So I just feel like I want to be able to put that type of music out with no pressure and just because I love it, and then market it to a whole different demographic. I think if 10 to 20% of my fans or even 5% of my fans enjoy it, fine, but let's find those other people that don't even know who Futuristic is that might love Zachary Lewis.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It's kind of cool because you're kind of, you know, you're kind of like, you're established as Futuristic, but then you almost have like this independent kind of on the rise
alter ego.
Yeah, alter ego type thing that you're creating. I think it's really cool how you're not afraid to put people on. You know, if you enjoy their music and you like them, you know, you'll feature on songs with people that hit you up on Instagram and stuff. You know, you've written a book that for up and coming artists and stuff. Like, you're doing a lot. So like, I wanted to ask you, in the documentary, you mentioned about how some of your friends and stuff have kind of blown up at that time before you had and things like that. But what are some of the benefits that you've seen compared to some of the people you know in the industry to staying independent and kind of doing it on your own?
I think you just have the control, and nobody can tell you when you can or when you can't put something out, and nobody can like tell you what to put out either. Like, I had a homie who's now blown up, but he was on a label for years before he blew up. So he's finally doing something new now, but he's completely changed his sound. He goes by a different name. He completely changed his sound. I'm not gonna say what his name is.
Sure.
But he was on the shelf for like 4 years and was miserable, like super miserable.
Yeah.
And finally, you know, at least he got to blow up, but a lot of people never get that opportunity.
Right.
Like, so I think that's one thing is, you know, that I also have artists that I know that are signed that they see like 4% of their money.
Oh, wow.
4% of their money.
Disgusting.
And it's just like, you know, so, and then at the end of the day, just me, how I am, like, I'm kind of a control freak. So if I want to fucking do something, I'm going to do it.
That's
and
cool.
if you tell me no, like, I might fight you. So like, I would have been on NWA shit, literally running in the label and breaking things because there's no way you could tell me I can't put this out. So when I was actually thinking about signing, because in beginning of 2016, I was really close. It was right after the rise and Coast to Coast, and every label wanted to sign me. And so I heard them all out. And it was at that time where I was doing the stuff with the Great Big World and doing Jimmy Fallon and all that.
Yep.
And seeing kind of like the struggles they had with their label, and then getting to know people at the label, and I felt like they didn't understand me and my music. And then I had another friend who wrote a really dope song, and it was like supposed to be his breakout song, and the label gave it to Chris Brown.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. So then Chris Brown dropped that single, and it was one of his singles. And like, the dude obviously still got paid and got credit for the writing, but it's like, that was supposed to be his shit. So I just put myself in those shoes, and I was just like, if any of those things happened to me, I would be livid.
Yeah, go on.
So there's no way I can bring myself to sign.
What's the craziest thing that a label's pitched you that you listen to it and you're like, you don't know me at all, or like, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous? Why would you do that?
Atlantic's first pitch was to get me on a song with Wale and Waka Flocka, and put me on a song with them. And not that that's a bad thing.
It's just different.
That would have been so different.
Even now, I still do a song with Waka Flocka, but like, for that being your first pitch, like, that wasn't my steez. That's like, I want to be, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't match.
Yeah, those artists are great, but it just doesn't match up to the style that you were going at that time. Like, the fit was just not there. The fact that they said that at that point probably threw you back a ton. You're just like, what?
Yeah. And then a lot of people at the label left. Like, I was basically in negotiations and talks with labels for like 6-7 months. And within those 6 or 7 months, all the people that I grew to like were leaving and going to different places. And
that's a red flag right
y'all
there.
Can't even say it. Yeah, you can't stay at the label and you're promising me all this stuff, and you're gonna be gone. Like, there's no way. So I'm glad. I'm happy with the road that I chose. Yeah. Every now and then, like, I wish that I, you know, had my Kyle moment, my I Spy moment. You know, every now and then I wish that. But at the same time, I built a super dope life being independent, and I can thank myself and, you know, nobody else really at the end of the day for, not nobody else, but, you know, I take pride in doing a lot on my own.
For sure.
Not nobody, baby. So not nobody. That's why we're here. I think we could sit and talk about how you market yourself all day and all the different the ways that you created, but I think we're gonna have to hold that because that's such in depth. You do a great job. You got a lot going on. I want to talk specifically just riding off our last topic of you creating your own record label. You coming out. Where are we with that? What's going on with that?
So basically, it was everything kind of came to me at the same time. I was actually out with this guy for his birthday.
Happy motherfucking birthday!
Yeah, me and him do a lot of traveling together. It's kind of like, it's one of those things where like you can only kind of do certain things with certain friends. So me, him, and Jakob Owens and our ladies, we go on trips together. And I always get my best ideas like at the end of a trip. And so I came up with the idea for Still on the Rise and the idea for the record label, like our 5th day in Tulum. And it was just like, I wanted to get that hunger back, and I wanted to go back to the original, the Rise style. And so first thing that pops in my mind is, okay, well, I need to do pranks. I need to get back on that. And then I was just thinking about like, man, Dawes didn't take any of my money from the song, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
And that song is on the Rise, and the Rise made $1 million. So I'm just in my head thinking like, man, if he would at the time would have been like, yeah, I get half of the revenue for that song because I'm going to make it blow up with my channel. Right. I would have been like, for sure, no big deal. So that was where the whole idea for the label came up. So basically, I partnered with Big Dawes for the label. And what we do is we make viral content for artists. And then we partner with them on the release of their songs 50-50. Because on a major label, you're only getting 12%. Most deals are 12%. Mm-hmm. So we're 50-50, and it's only on the music. It's not on anything else. And it's only a 3-song deal. So we basically help you come up with 3 pieces of content. I use all my connections. Where'd y'all go?
Oh, we're still here. We lost your video, but we're still here, my man.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to get the video back. Let's see. All right, I'm back. So I basically came up with the idea to partner with people for their 3 songs, do viral content with them, help them get playlists, and then help use my connections to get them features. Like, for example, tomorrow or tonight at midnight, one of our artists named Gone, he has a song dropping and Ritz is on it, and then his next song has Jaron Benton on it.
That's cool.
And so yeah, it's just like using my connects and using Dawes and the whole viral aspect in my marketing to help artists blow up. And if you want to stay with us and do more after 3 songs, you can. If you want to go do your own thing, cool.
That's really cool. That's a really cool format.
How do you go by selecting your roster? Going about what drives you? What sparks kind of just like, hey, I'm going for it. I like this guy. I like this artist.
I just look at everybody's stuff and I just try to put them in a position of, well, first of all, do they work hard? Second of all, are they talking about and do they represent the right things? And then third of all, can I do something interesting with them? Like, can I see them doing something viral, or can I see them doing something that, is that people will react to how they reacted to the greatest? Because our whole label is fueled off of viral content and off of, breaking the mold a little bit, So there's a lot of great artists that I like, but I couldn't sign them because they make great music, but they're not like somebody that would necessarily draw your attention right away if they walked up to you and started rapping to you or singing to you. So it's that people that are like over the top great rappers and great singers or have something unique about themselves.
Absolutely.
Well,
that's awesome.
we got one last question for you, and then we will let you get on with your day because we know you're a busy man. So,
yes, sir.
Obviously, listening to you talk and studying your stuff the last few weeks, I know that like you're very independent sometimes, and you're also very giving, and you give features out and you get features. So this might be a loaded question, but if you had one dream collaboration where you're like, I would love to have this person on a song, or maybe not even be on your song, but just like be in the studio session with them, who is that person and why?
So I have a dream song. My dream song would be me on the first verse. So it would be John Bellion makes the beat.
Oh yeah.
I'm on the first verse. Gambino's on the second verse.
Okay.
John Bellion does the hook, and Andre 3000 has the last verse.
You all heard it. You all heard it there.
Right.
That's it. He smiled when he asked that question. You heard that question, like, oh, absolutely. I already have it in mind right there. I've been thinking about it for a while. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Hey, and shout out to three Stacks. He turned 45 yesterday, and he's still killing.
Yeah.
A legend.
Seriously. That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, hell of an answer. Well, dude, we appreciate you taking the time for us and coming on. And, you know, you're very inspirational. So we're glad that we got your time and made time for us. So
Yeah, man, really appreciate it.
All day, man. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all, and I will talk to you soon.
Go grind.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Thank you.
Sheesh.